This is Twit.
Well, let's jump right into the top news. A security researcher with One World Labs named Chris Roberts reportedly told the FBI in February that he successfully hacked the in-flight entertainment system of a United Airlines flight, and he was able to access the controls of the plane itself, causing it to change course mid-flight. He basically decided to crank one engine. The airplane both rose in altitude and also turned to one side. He also said that he had successfully accessed in-flight networks more than a dozen times between 2011 and 2014. USA Today's Elizabeth Weiss joins us now. Welcome to you, Elizabeth.
Thanks so much.
Now, there's conflicting information about whether Roberts actually altered the course of an actual flight. What's your take on this? Did he actually do that?
You know, boy, that would be a lovely thing to know. So what we know is what was in. So the only documentation we actually have from Roberts is the FBI actually met him at a flight that he was getting off of in Syracuse, New York. This was back on April 15th. He had tweeted on a previous flight that day that he was going to see if he could hack into the in-flight entertainment center. And that flight that he was on he was flying Denver to Chicago. The flight, when it got to Chicago, flew on to Philadelphia. FBI agents got on it in Philadelphia. They looked at the computer box under his seat, which is what he said he uses to get into these things. And the door was ajar and one of the screws was half off. And because of that, they met him in Syracuse when he landed, took all of his electronics, interviewed him, and filed a search warrant, a request for a search warrant so they could search his electronics. And that's the only way that we know that he said that he was able to hack into these an in-flight entertainment system and thereby access a computer, because he said that to the FBI, and that's in the search warrant documentation. Now, I've talked to a bunch of security people. I've also talked to a lot of people who work in aviation, and they all say, especially the aviation people say, hey, the in-flight entertainment system is totally separate than the jet control systems. They do not intersect. And so none of them can see how you would be able to do that. One guy I talked to actually is a mechanic who works on these big jets says, you know, in-flight entertainment's a total add-on. They come in later, they throw these boxes in. To his mind, I mean, you know, talk about an air gap, there's no connection. That said, we haven't heard directly from Roberts, and they're just, the FBI, the only thing they're saying is that they don't believe it's credible that he was able to do that. The one question that I have, and something a lot of people are asking is, you know, if somebody was actually able to go onto a plane and cause it to veer off in any way, shape, or form, I mean, you would imagine the pilots would immediately land the plane. I mean, they know when anything goes wrong, and if a plane started behaving oddly like that, you would imagine they would have landed it and that we might have heard about it.
It also seems like passengers would have noticed, right? I mean, there would have been some sort of discussion of all of a sudden we were flying and then we turned and then we turned again quickly, and it was strange. It seems like people would have been talking about that.
Exactly. Or if you notice that the guy into the seat next to you had like gotten under the seat, was plugging an Ethernet cable into a box under his seat. I don't know. Though that said, I've scrabbled under seats a lot trying to plug in just my regular electric plug, trying to find it with the flashlight from my phone. So maybe they thought that's what he was doing. But if you had an Ethernet cable going from your computer into under your seat, I don't know, would that make somebody pay attention?
So what does he say? Can you tell us a little bit more about what he said he was doing physically with this box? I mean, he said that he somehow used some sort of aftermarket device to jack in to what's going on in this box. From what you've read, does that make any sense? Is this a box that has any sort of standard ports, or is he actually talking about splicing wires under the seat?
No. So actually these underseat boxes, and you've run into them if you've ever gotten on a plane that had the seat back movies, not the ones that come down from the ceiling, but the seat back movies. And you get on the plane and you try and put your backpack or your suit, your case under the seat, and there's this kind of metal box in the way that's new that only appeared in the last year or two. That's the innards for the computer that runs the seat entertainment. Usually there's one or two per row. And from what people have told me and from what Roberts said in his when he was speaking to the FBI, so that thing has a cover. He said that he was able to wiggle and jiggle and push off the cover, and then in that, yeah, there you go. There's the request. There, he said that there is a port on that, and he had an adapter that allowed him to go from the port to his computer, and he also, and I think most chillingly of what he said when he talked to the FBI was that he said the password and ID were generic to get into the controller for the in-flight entertainment center. And that's, of course, problematic because, I mean, that's the first thing you're supposed to do is change the passwords. And he claims that the airplanes didn't do that. Now, whether or not in-flight entertainment then allowed him to get into flight control, that's kind of the $60 million question. And I don't know that we have a definitive answer to that. The experts seem to be leaning towards, we don't think so.
One of his claims is that he was able to monitor traffic from the cockpit system. And this is on a United flight. Didn't United used to broadcast the chatter between pilots and air traffic control over the entertainment system?
They did, actually. I think it was always Channel 9, and you could listen to the cockpit chatter. I've been on flights when there's cockpit chatter, and then something goes a little bit wrong, and suddenly it cuts off, and then they come back on after they've worked everything out. So maybe there's a connection, though that would just be audio, but that might potentially posit a link, though. Cockpit chatter, I mean, again, what the aviation people say is these systems are not only redundant, but they are closed and they don't connect. Now, forward looking, all these airplanes all the Airbus big planes and the new Boeing planes, these are all, right now we have fly-by-wire. There's actual physical connections between things on the planes. Everything is moving to totally electronic. And a lot of experts have been saying when we get to that point, I mean, it's kind of the Internet of Things coming to aviation. When everything on a plane is networked, does that make everything on a plane vulnerable? So even if Roberts wasn't able to do what he said he did, it puts everybody on notice that you can't get by with security through obscurity anymore. People are watching, this is real, and you have to deal with this stuff now. You can't just kind of hope that if nobody notices that there's a box under their seat with something you can plug a cable into, maybe nobody will bother with it.
Well, I can't wait to find out what actually happened. The problem, of course, is that Roberts is actually a credible and respected security researcher, so he can't be just dismissed as a hack, no pun intended. He is a serious person who's actually done a lot of good research and so on. So he's done something here, and I can't wait to find out what it is, in fact, that he did. I'm also curious about whether or not he is going to be prosecuted. I think there's some question about whether the authorities actually had a legitimate warrant to seize his laptops and so on. They certainly didn't have one when they seized them. And I think the question might be whether or not they had one when they opened it up and rifled through his system, assuming that that's what they did. He also admitted at some point to having a bunch of malware on him when he was confronted by authorities.